Okay, so everything is just tacked in right now. If you like race carring, this one I'll be working on kind of here and there throughout the process of building the car. It'll kind of be the filler car. So I'm gonna work on it. I need a motor, so I can only get so far. So here we go. I currently have a lot of junk in my shop. I'm just gonna do this in the driveway. I'll roll it in as needed, and then we'll work on it inside, hopefully. It's a nice day though, so let's see what we get. Also, before I cover it up, I just had to admire this. I don't know why anybody would have covered it up in the first place. I mean, somebody had a reason, right? Look at this pinstriping. This is super cool. Obviously, that's been really gutted. And it's a race car, so whoops. Okay, so this is what we're working with here. There was not a fuel cell in it when I got it. Obviously, it was a fully built race car when I got it. They just ran one by one, pretty thick wall, one by one across, which would work, but I like the tubing look and the sturdiness of it. So if you look here, this is lower than that. Frame rail, whatever you want to call it. That's kind of an issue. So what I need to do is I'll have to make up for that when I go to mount this tank. So they could possibly run a bar across and then mount the one by one below it, and then on top of this one. We'll see what we do when we get there. Obviously, this has had two people's job in it before this car's, and then one back here. So instead of unbolting it, they just cut it out. Whatever, that's fine. I will make it work. Okay, so you need some one by one, and then you'll need some round tubing. I'll show you guys the round tubing I got. This was just sitting there in my tube wall. So there it is right there. And then one by one tubing is right there. You can pretty much just use scraps because I don't need a ton of it. Obviously, you're gonna need a welder or a lot of JB Weld. I'm kidding. Although JB Weld's a great product. You'll need a welder. You'll need probably a grinder, flat disc, clean the metal up. And then I'll show you guys one thing that you might have forgot about, that I forgot about, then I had to go get just now. Okay, so this is a Jazz Racing fuel cell product. The one thing I forgot was these screws, right? Or bolts with the nuts. So I had to get longer ones because you got to run this through the one by one square tubing, or if you're gonna go bigger, thicker, you need to get longer ones even. So you can tell the difference there between those two. That's because it's gonna go through the tubing. We need threads to obviously tighten it down. So I went and got, I needed, doing just this side, so I needed to get 8 of them. So I got 8 of these bolts. Made sure the threads were right. These are lock nuts. I could have got new ones, but I'm just gonna send it with these. And then this already has the washers on it, so all I'm doing is replacing the bolt. Still using the both washers and the nut. So we'll get this mocked up in there where I want it. This car has not been scaled, so I don't know how the weight's gonna be or anything like that. So this is just how I do it, or how I've done it in the past and how I'm doing it now. So bear with me. Okay guys, so those are cleaned up now. I'm not positive where I'm gonna put them yet. I'm gonna do some measurements, kind of see where I want them. They're not totally cleaned up, but they're mostly cleaned up. Do some measurements, see where I wanna put it. This one, I kinda wanna move it forward for weight. This was, rumor has it, this was a dirt track car. And I don't know how dirt track racing is, but I feel like they want weight in the back to slide around the corners. So I'm gonna move it forward because I don't want that. That'd be a loose car, and I don't want a loose car. Okay, so I did some measurements here. So I'm gonna mount the back bar. So you see where this, I think it's called a J bar. I can't remember the name of it. It looks like a J and it goes all the way across, usually with the brace coming down. So if something gets up under you, it doesn't go into the fuel cell. I'll have to replace that because that was hacked off. So it's gonna mount right there. To there will be the round bar, and that's gonna be 41 3/4. And then 23 inches ahead, where that little line is right there, you can see. Straight across there, that's to be 42 inches. I think the frame kind of does this on both sides. Not by a lot, but just enough. You can see how it kind of rounds in and then comes back out. So that'll be that bar. The height difference is an issue. So what I'm gonna have to do is I think I'm gonna mount the, coming off this bar, it'll go down and over to this one, which will either be flush or up. So we'll figure that out when we get there. Obviously we want it kind of level because I need to pick up my fuel. So this is the fuel cell. Obviously it's not to scale, but 26 inches wide by 18 inches. So that'll fit obviously between the 42 inches by a lot. And then 23, 18. So that'll give me some room where it's not crammed between those two bars. If I do get hit, it can move. I just don't want to explode like a Pinto would. So that's that. And we'll just get to building. What I gotta lose? Just a lot of money in tubing, but it's okay, it's a race car. All right guys, so I came out here this morning with the intent to film everything and then, well, just got after it and didn't. So I'll kind of show you what I did. Welds don't look great, but they should hold. I mean, it's a race car after all, so I'll show you guys what she's looking like. Okay, so everything is just tacked in right now. So what I did is I ran this bar across. I think you guys saw that in time lapse. And then I took a piece of 90 angle iron. I think it's 1.5 or 2 inch angle iron right here. And I tacked that on, drilled holes to match so I could bolt the fuel cell to that, because I was just gonna run these on the side, and then I figured, why not have that as well. So I got that in, and then what I did was I took a piece of 1x1, I stuck it up against the tube, I notched this a little bit here, and then held it up against it, made marks, drilled holes, boom, put that in. Did the same over there. As you can tell, the frame rail does this and goes up right there. So I couldn't do this same style on that side. So what I did was have to drop it down. So I welded that bar, I tacked it to the frame there, to the frame here. And then I took two 1 inch, they're about 1.5, 2 inch pieces of 1 inch square tubing and tacked them from there to there. And that is how I got to the point I am now. I'd like to take this all out and paint it, but I don't think that's gonna be a thing. We're just gonna run it as is, because whatever. You might think that's pretty close to the bumper. These bumpers are pretty stout, so I'm hoping the bumper can take pretty good impact. I mean, it's a 70 something Nova, so take that. And then for the J bar, I think it's called a J bar, but K bar, B bar, R bar, I don't know. So I'll see what I did. Okay, so I don't have the greatest of tube benders, but I bent it. It's one of those cheap Harbor Freight ones, so it's kind of kinked, but whatever, it'll work. I might run a brace from there to there, stiffen it up. So this was the original one. Obviously it was bent nice. I was hoping I could just sleeve something into there and then run it across, would be money, but that's not gonna work out. So I'm gonna have to cut that out. I'm gonna have to cut this a little shorter, probably like right here. And then obviously parallel with the bar going across. And then this will mount to the frame where that one is. And then it'll come across, and I want it below this because if I get hit from behind, that's the whole point of this bar, is so somebody doesn't get in the fuel cell, they just get into the bar, lift the car up, drop the car down. I might run braces under the fuel cell as well, in case a car did get under me, to prevent anything further. So this, I'm not gonna weld on today. I gotta get this one off. My kid's sleeping inside the house right there, so I don't wanna wake him up. So once that fuel cell's in, I mean, I need a seat. Driveline, I have a transmission, and I just bought a motor, so we'll go over the motor when I get it. I bought it from my neighbor, just had a race motor in his garage that'll work, so we'll get that in, and then we're pretty close to a race car. I gotta get obviously the brakes right, fuel line, carb, engine accessories, all that other fun stuff, but we should be able to make a couple races this summer. Obviously I gotta paint it or wrap it so it looks cool, because priorities. I didn't film me wrapping the trunk, but I'll film the rest of it because I just forgot to turn my camera on. So let's get right after it. I'll show you guys how to put a fuel cell on a race car. Also, I picked number 53. I put a quiz out. There's a little meaning to it. I'll tell you guys about that here in a sec. All right, guys, quick little story. So I picked 53 for four reasons. Number one, brand 5 garage. I had to have a 5 in there. Number two, my favorite number is obviously 5, and part of my last name is actually 5 in Spanish. So I did that. And then I did 3 because my dad and I, when growing up, I remember the Sunday mornings watching NASCAR. I remember a Saturday night race with Dale Earnhardt and Terry Labonte going at it. And my dad's favorite driver was Dale Earnhardt in the 3 car. Mine was Terry Labonte in the 5 car. So I picked 53. It's always been like race numbers in the family. My other race car is number 5. I can't be 5 in this class because there already is 2 number 5s and an 05. So there's no 53s. And the fourth reason, I posted a short of, hey, what number should I pick? And I had tons of people comment, and I appreciate you guys doing that. But everyone who commented, they commented their numbers, and I'm not going to take their numbers. That's your number, dude. So my wife commented 53, mostly because I told her to, because I liked 53. And I was like, you know, that's a good looking number. So I went online, found some 53s. We're number 53 this year. So the race car is dang near, needs motor and trans, and we should be at least driving it and a driveline. It just needs time. So I need some time to work on it. But I got the fuel cell mounted. I showed you guys that, or I'll show you guys that in this video, how to do so. The thing's cool looking, and I'm gonna wrap it that teal. If you don't like it, I apologize. But for sponsors, I want it to stand out. I want sponsors to feel like they're getting seen, so it's fair for what, you know, they invest in me, hopefully, since I don't have any. But maybe I'll get one, or half of one, or maybe I won't get one. And I'll have a teal car with neon yellow accents and a black roof. So we'll go outside real quick. Sorry, this video is kind of all over the place. I'll show you guys my plan for the wrap, and then and why I'm using teal. I'll just tell you now, because I had it, and I was gonna wrap a bug that I actually traded for low mater. If I can get a picture to pop up, boom, low mater. Which will also get continued and finished. But we're gonna get out there, we're gonna bust our butts on that car. I'll show you guys the plan for the wrap, for the colors, and then we'll hopefully get to working on that. Also, I'm building in my driveway because Sean's truck's still in here. We're still working on it. We're getting close, so don't give up on us. I'll give you guys some updates of what we got done on that too in this episode. It might be a long episode, so I'll just show you my car. Okay guys, so the plan with this car, as you can already see some teal wrap up there, is this body line that runs along the side down, and the trunk, so it's going to come swooping down like this all the way down and around the nose, is going to be teal. Top of the fenders will be black, the hood will be black, not this hood because I can't run this hood, and then the roof will be black, and then I might throw some of that neon yellow on there. I want to be seen, right? This is a billboard for companies to hopefully reach out to me reach out to them, partnership up. We can both benefit from your name on my car. So this body line right here down will be teal. I'll patch those holes from those goofy bars that stuck out. And yeah, the wrap job on the nose we did in the cold, so it didn't turn out great. But on camera, you can't really tell. So somebody painted this nose blue, which is just peels off with the wrap if you don't do it right. So that's good and bad, but it's a pain in the butt. So we got it partially wrapped on top. I'm just doing chunks because it's a race car, right? And then we got this side partially wrapped over the pop rivet / tin that is on there. But yeah, it'll be teal from here down. And then yeah, so there might be like this color down here possibly on the side skirts. I haven't decided yet. Well, I didn't film it, but there's the race car wrapped and ready to go, minus, you know, everything that makes it go. Got a number there on the front end. We wrapped it in a teal color. I think it looks sweet. It pops really nice at night. We're not totally done. I just haven't had the wrap show up yet. So this black down here is going to end up being similar to that color. And then we'll get the number on it when the numbers show up. My buddy's printing them up for me. So once those are here, I mean, we're almost there, guys. This thing's looking sweet. So you saw me put that 53 on there. There's one on the rear. Put a license plate on it because why not? All right, guys, that'll probably be it for this episode. She's wrapped and ready for sponsors and numbers. So I just gotta do those two things. But thank you again for watching Brand 5 Garage. We'll get back on that old gal probably in the next episode. We just gonna get some stuff on the race car this week. So thank you guys for watching Brand 5 Garage. I'm out.